Hi everyone. So as you know, in the new pattern of CBSE question paper, a new section is introduced as case study based questions, where a piece of information will be given to you and you have to answer for questions from the basis of that information. So those information are generally related from the experiences in reality, and the answers will have to be given on the basis of your concepts being taught in the various chapters of the syllabus. So today I have taken a case study based question where the application of polynomial is there, or concepts of polynomial will be required. So in polynomial we have learnt about the zeros of polynomial, the values of polynomial, etc., and coefficients of polynomial, how they are related with the zeros of the polynomial. All these things will be now useful, and also the graphs of the polynomial. Okay, so here the case study is that the highway underpass or overpass, most of you have seen while going in highway. So they are parabolic in nature. That means this is your road, so like this, over there is a road and this is underpass and this is overpass. So this opening, this shape is known as parabola. And what is parabola actually? Parabola is nothing but the graph of or graphical representation of any quadratic polynomial. So that I have written, the parabola is the graph of quadratic polynomial. Okay, now again that parabola can be of four types. That is, one will be upward, as you see, this is upward and this is downward. Now what is these parabolas are typical of that is they are symmetric about some axis. In these two cases, as you see, they are symmetric about a vertical line, that is in this case y axis. And in these two cases, the parabolas are symmetric about the x-axis, the horizontal line. This is upward going, so it is upward parabola, is downward going, downward parabola. This is your, in this right-handed parabola, and this is left-handed parabola. Now, these are the typical shapes or graphs of quadratic polynomial. Now, upward and downward parabola will be obtained when the polynomial is of this type. That is, px is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. And what is px? Px is nothing but y. So that means y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. When this type, that is x is the square, then the upward downward parabola. And when of this type, when this is the or when I change the variable, or as I flip the variable x and y, so this will be your right-handed and left-handed parabola. So x is this. Now it is obvious from the reasons, because you see, as you see from this, whether x is positive or negative, this y will be always positive because it is x square. So it is upward parabola. And here you see, whether your x is positive or negative, this y will be always negative. So it is downward parabola because of the minus sign. Similarly here also, this is your right-handed parabola. Here also, whether your y is positive or negative, x will be always positive. So it is right-handed, and in this case, whether your y is positive or negative, x will be always negative. So it is left-handed. So in this way we can understand these are the four types of parabolas. But in this when the application is highway, underpass and overpass, obviously it has to be either this upward or downward. And these two these two parabola will come under the case when we will talk about say reflector of light, parabolic reflector of car lights or some antennas. Then these two parabola will take account, where you're in this way. Okay, so looking at the equation or the polynomial, we can know about the nature of the parabola, whether it's upward, downward, or left-handed or right-handed right? Now in this case it is highway, underpass, overpass, so we will be concerned only with this. These two will come in our mind. We will not think about these two. So let me erase this. And when this is the symmetric curve of the quadratic polynomial, then the line, vertical line about which this curve is symmetric is known as the axis of the parabola. In this case y-axis is this, and the point, you see one important, very interesting thing. So the curve, suppose the curve is decreasing in this way, value is decreasing, value of y decreasing, then at this point it starts increasing. So this point where the direction of curve changes is known as the vertex. Similarly here also it is increasing, at that point starts decreasing. So this is also vertex, same, the origin is also vertex here. So obviously you see, so this is vertex about at which the point it changes the direction. Okay. Now a question is given on the basis of that. What is the minimum or maximum value of the polynomial this? So this is the polynomial. So first of all you have to know whether it will be minimum value or maximum value. That is our first way to determine whether the curve of this will be upward or downward parabola. But as we look at the sign of x squared is positive, so I think it will be upward parabola. Okay. So I have some idea about the nature of the parabola. It will be an upward parabola. Okay, fine. Now what to find minimum or maximum value? And now you see, this is a typical case when y is x squared, the vertex is 0. Okay, when y is minus is 0. But for in general, this vertex cannot be at the origin. It can be like this. You see. It can be like this, then the vertex will be here. So for upward parabola, this will be the minimum value. This value will be the minimum value of the curve. And for downward, like this, say, suppose this is the vertex V, then this will be the maximum value. This is the minimum value. So from the curves we can know about minimum or maximum value. So we see for the upward parabola we are getting the minimum value, the vertex gives the minimum value, and for downward parabola the vertex gives the maximum value. So this much we know. So this much information is given to you. Now we have to answer this question. That is, this is our polynomial and we have to find this minimum or maximum value. So obviously I have to know the vertex. Okay. So for how to get the vertex, you see, for that what we do, as we see that this nature of the curve will be something like that. This much we have understood, because it is sine of x square is positive, so it will be an upward parabola. This much I know. It will be something like that. So the vertex, and you know these points are known as the zeros, because the curve cutting the x-axis at these 2 points, and this gives the values of zeros, because at these 2 points the value of y is 0. So the vertex always lies between, will lie between the two zeros. This much we have known. So if I can find out the zeros, then by hit and trial method we can find out the value of the polynomial for some numbers in between these two, so that we can find out the vertex and we will get the minimum value. So let us do that. First of all, let us factorize it to get the zeros. So if I factorize, it will be this, you can do very easily, x minus 3 into x plus 1. This will be the factorization. If I can cross check, minus 3 plus 1 minus 2, minus 3 into 1 is minus 3. So I have cross checked. So therefore the zeros are, from this I will get 3 and from this I will get minus 1. This you know how to get the zeros. So let me now plot the graph. These are the coordinate axes. Origin, 0 is the origin, okay, 0, 0, okay, this point. Now the zeros are plus 3, so 1 0 is a plus, suppose this is say 1, 2 and 3. So this is 1, 0. And another is minus 1, so it will be somewhere here minus 1. So this is another 0. So I have located the zeros. Now I have to find the values of the polynomial for the intermediate points. So there are 3 points. One is 0, this is 1 and 2. So then we can find out. So first of all, for 0 you find out the value of p0. So what will be p0? Put 0 minus 0 minus 3. Minus 3. Then for the point 1 you find out the value of the polynomial x square minus 2 minus 3. So it is coming out to be minus 4. Then for this point 2 I find out the value of the polynomial. 2 square minus 2 into 2 is 4 minus 3. So it is getting cancelled. So it is also minus 3. So what do I see? I find that minus 3, then minus 4, then it again starts increasing. So at the point here, that is at the point 1, the value is minus 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4, minus 3. So at the point 1 it is getting this point, and at 0 it is 3, and at 2 is also 3. So the parabola I can see. So you see, as expected, the parabola is upwards, so we will get the minimum value, and this minimum value is the vertex value. So this value, this is minus 4, this is the minimum value. This is vertex. So this corresponds to minus 4, so this is the minimum value. So answer, this is your minimum. So answer, how we'll write the answer as minimum value of px is minus 4. So that is the way. After locating the zeros, we find out the values of the polynomial for few intermediate points, and then we can easily find out the minimum value. In this way, do this, okay? And suppose the graph is like this. Suppose if the sign would have been minus, then graph would be like this. Then we will be getting the maximum value. This will be the maximum value if the curve is downward. So this is 1, 0, this is 1, 0, and finding the different values for different values of x, we can find out the values of the polynomial, and in this way we can find out. Okay, that's all for today. Bye.